Welcome back. In this episode, we're going to debug the function that we wrote last time. Because even though we wrote unit tests and so on, the final program reading actual data turns out that it didn't work. So now we are going to investigate and find out what went wrong. Here, the problem we found last time was that so you got, for example, so this line should be matching the requested rule, like the given rule. Maybe I should just print out which rules are being read. Rules, and maybe I should just print rules coded. And here I'm just gonna print so, and here I just write out how many were blacklisted for the moment. Were listed. And are we good? Yes. So let's try again. So we have 108 different connections, even though we have 2 rules loaded, none matched expectations. So maybe it's time to add a new test here. So here we are going to produce exactly match rules and rule and packet from real sample. So the packet D port 53, S port equals 888, S port, no. This one should do. S port, D port, S port 56 543, D port 53 only. Okay, so that's correct, that's correct, that's correct. This should work, right? There's no reason this shouldn't work. I'm gonna whitelist run exclusively this test, and it works. So it means that in my simulation here, the packet that I have here is not the same as the packet which comes out the pcap file. Because if it was like if it was laid out like this one, there would be no problem. Here we can start a debugger. In Python 3 up to 3.6, the only way to start a debugger is calling pdb set trace. In Python 3.7 that I'm not using, you can do breakpoint, and this will load pdb or whatever you've got set up automatically. But for the moment I'm not using Python 3.7, so you can use the debugger like this. You know, my test is never gonna fail. So now we need to investigate why is the final program is not working while the unit test does, and we need to pinpoint what are the differences between each. Now we got packets, okay, and now packets of 0, yes. And so what could go different? Yes, so it's not TCP. Yeah, so this one is UDP. Oh, this is actually one of the ones that I should match. Oh, but apparently it's not. It's not doing it as I think it would. So it's not sending a TCP packet, it's doing it using DNS, which is slightly different. And it's DNS over UDP, yes. So maybe that's the reason. If I do, let's do p equals. So in a debugger, in PDB, short, like one letter variable names are dangerous because you get a bunch of commands which have only one letter. And so if you try to associate a value with one of these commands, it's not gonna work. So basically here I was telling him to associate to the print command the first item from packets. So it's more like, so either you can override it by saying, okay, I know what I'm doing, give me a variable named p that's going to get in the way of the print command, or just let's say pkt equals packets of 0. pkt dot, well, pkt ip. Okay, export dport. Sounds good. So I have no idea why this is not working. If rule matches packet output was add and blacklisted. Yeah, there is absolutely no good reason why it would not work. Maybe maybe it's a mistake in the. No, I think I'm doing it correctly here. So port maps to D port. I could check for S port and stuff like this. So packet attribute, packet value, rule value different from star. Yes. SRC, ST. I think I'm not even checking anything else. SRC, DST, and D port. So, wait. Could that be like an integer versus string thingy? Like one stores. You see, port 53. So my rule is about one. So this is correct. You see, 53. But what if in my config, in my whitelist, this gets interpreted as a string? Maybe. Let's. So rules. Port equals 53. No, not even. So let's see. Rules of 1. So this is the rule that should match. So RL that matches pkt false. How? Like pkt RL. Oh, this is like is kt.src. Ooh, yes. Yes. I'm not looking at the right layer. So there is a pkt dport, pkt sport, but pkt.dst and pkt.src, these are MAC addresses. This is at the Ethernet layer, not at the IP layer. So I should not compare pkt of something, I should compare pkt of IP. It's because in my tests I'm not doing this Ethernet, I'm not sending stuff over Ethernet. I'm sending stuff like I'm sending straight IP packets. That's why it doesn't work. Why my tests are failing. Okay, so now I should get back to here. And of course I'm going to import ether and just do ether. So I'm sending all my packets over Ethernet. Okay. It's a bit annoying because this one go here, this one goes here. Okay. You might think, yeah, why is he fussing so much about not going over 80 characters? Basically, it's for readability. If you have like two windows side by side reviewing code, or if you're just having or like comparing two files, it's always useful to have shorter lines. And if you stick to 80 characters, usually it fits nicely on your text editors. And also my personal reason is that if it goes too much on the right, usually it's a good indicator that my code is getting hard to read or whatever. So I really prefer having sticking to 80 characters. Even if it's sometimes a bit cumbersome, I definitely don't reformat code by hand on a day-to-day basis. I have like automated tools for that. But yeah, I encourage you to just stick to 80 characters. So I've changed everything to be over Ethernet. I just hope that the defaults do work. So assert false. Oh, that's good. Why that? So we could also invoke, so PyTest you can also do --pdb and run the debugger exactly where it failed. Here it's not going to be very helpful, it's just going to reproduce the bug we just had there. And when I'm doing the matching, so packets, I should actually look at IP layer. IP layer is packet IP. And instead of checking packet here, I just check the IP layer. Sounds better. I already put something which prevents IP not to be in the packets. Maybe I should add an additional warning like if not IP in packets. So either I raise an exception, raise value error, this is not an IP packet, or I could just say return false, because there is no way it's going to match. I prefer this one because it's like not silently ignoring an input, but not silently ignoring an error. Okay, so now I got my IP layer being packet of IP layer. Okay, so this should fix this one test. Yes, and therefore it should fix all the other ones. So what's wrong with you now? It filters packets correctly. from fake capture. Pretty surprising. What's wrong here? So packet summary. So it's not matching. It's not matching for some reason. Good question. What's going wrong? So again, TCP, Ethernet IP, TCPD port. 888, read whitelist definition, so that's good. Port 53, from 127 to 888, from 127 to 888. This should work. Why isn't it working? Again, PDB to the rescue. So, rules. Oh, there's just one rule. And a capture. This is a list of packets. Okay. So is rules of 0 matches fake capture 0 true. So this is correct. So what's wrong now? So this one got selected properly. So summary is there, and packet summary. Fake capture 0. Oh yes, okay, my bad. If it had been if it has been whitelisted, it must have like the information about the packet, but also it must match the rules, the first rule. Okay. It's not rule, it's called matching rule. Okay, so every test passes now, so that means that my code must be fixed also here. Two rules loaded, and a damn lot of different packets got whitelisted. Fantastic! It works. I think we're getting somewhere, definitely. So this is good, this is good, this is good. So now we could reintroduce the ones that were in blacklisted. Okay. Okay, so it's gonna just remove the debugger. No. I'm gonna stop that one and restart it. Just to skip the part where we've got the debugger firing up. This is no longer necessary. Two rules loaded. Oh yes, that's really great. Good. So one last detail. Maybe you have seen cybersecurity tools, but most of them they make a lot of use of colors, and that's something I always wanted to put in my own programs, is colors. So let's put some colors in there. I've heard of a module called Colorama. So Python Colorama. I think the good thing is it's compatible with Windows and Linux. But of course, So is there a way? This I can do. So I'll just this here. As colorama init, or maybe just import colorama because I really don't like just having this init function dangling. I might like to import my own. Okay, so I also need to import for backend style. Just style recycle. Import colorama from colorama imports foreground, background, and style. So probably here I want to have print here for dot green plus packet, and then for dot red, and here I want to have like print style dot resets all, and this also over here. So what does it mean? It means that it's going to say, okay, the following text is going to be green, and then print the packet, and then the following text is going to be green, so it's going to be useless. So it's going to print my whitelisted text in green, then reset it, then print the header in white or black or whatever is your foreground, default foreground color, and then here it's going to write for each packet in red, and then at the end resets all, so my console is not broken afterwards. Okay, so I'm kind of anxious to test this because I've never worked with colors before. Yes, of course. Install colorama. Let's go. Still takes some time. 2 rules loaded. Oh, damn. Okay. So a packet, like I wanted to print like the stringified version of a packet, not the packet itself, because here it would try to, yeah, it's the problem with the plus. I was not too sure about this. So you can't really like making a string plus another string is a way of concatenating text. It's not the most efficient, but it's a way. The problem is here, there is no operation binding a packet and for red stuff. So colorama screams because you're not supposed to be adding up incompatible types together. So let's try it again. Yes. Oh, yes. So I'm going to make it full screen just for the sake of readability. Okay, so it's still not great. I mean, we could definitely improve the output because, yeah, like the whitelist matching rule, whitelist rule, and so on. This is way too long. So maybe instead of putting the matching rule, we could just display maybe we could change the wrapper or the string function of the packet summary so it displays something more readable. So, or the matching rule, yeah. So I'm going to change just the matching rule. So a whitelist rule, and then I'm just, no, it's, yeah. So. So the string method, the underscore str underscore method, return self.name. it's what gets called when you call string of something, like I'm doing it here, like string of a packet. I'm calling string of a packet, and string of a packet it's calling itself string of self name. So it's either the string, either the wrapper. So we'll see which one gets called. Let's try it again. Yeah, so it was the wrapper. Okay, so let's find a better expression. Okay, so maybe string would be working here. So what would be the good string? Probably just so let's write how we would like it to appear. src something dst something export something deport something else. And then suppose this, and then if self.matching rule text equals text plus rule, and here we can have self.matching rule.name instead. Return text. So it's going to change the summary of each line, you see? Okay. So yeah, definitely starts to look like something we would like to see. So we've got all of these which are whitelisted, and then we have which rule validated them. So it's DNS reply, DNS query, DNS reply, DNS query, 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 reply, reply. Okay, and all of these are other stuff. Okay, so and what just for my personal pleasure, 4 plus blue and style reset all. Just for my own enjoyment. More colors. The more the color, the better. Oh yes! So now I've got my 2 rules loaded in blue and the rest in green and the blacklisted in red. I think that kind of fits the desired output for this program. So we are able to read from a packet capture, provide a simple list as a YAML file, and then from this we can then get a list of all the different connections that have been occurring between source and destination on a given port. And based on that, we can sort them in between like whitelisted, blacklisted, which is exactly, I think, what my friend was asking for. Well, I hope you learned a few things. I definitely did. So yeah, don't hesitate in rewatching some of these, because I've probably been too fast on some bits. Have a good time and see you next time.